I want to get right into this today. I want to talk about silent battles. I want to continue to talk about depression. I want to talk about mental health. I want to talk about stress. I want to talk about why so many people in the world are unhappy. If you don't know, statistically, it's not my opinion, this is truth. 1 out of 3 people aren't happy. 1 out of 3 people. So if you know 3 people in your life, 1 out of those 3 people are unhappy. 1 out of those 3 people are sad. 1 out of those 3 people are miserable. And I have an idea of why this could be. Now, there's a lot of reasons on why people are depressed, why people are happy. But when I go to my own life, and I know I get passionate about this, but we have so many people taking their life because they feel like better days are behind and they feel like nothing good is going to happen in their life. We have so many people depressed because they feel like they cannot be what the world wants them to be. See, we live in a time where social media, and I'm not blaming social media. Social media is a great place. I'm able to come here live right now. But we live in a time where so many people are putting expectations on people, right? We have all these external expectations to live up to, whether it be to our family, whether it be to our followers, whether it be to our bosses, whether it be to our family, whoever it may be. We have all these external expectations to live up to. And a lot of times these external expectations are based around perfection. And a lot of us, when we can't live up to these external expectations, what happens in our life is that we start to feel depression. We start to feel depression because we feel we cannot be perfect. And I want to tell you this, man. I want you to understand this. Most people in this world are trying to live up to a perfection that's impossible to live up to. Most people are trying to live up to a perfection that is impossible to live up to. And the reason we do that is because, and I want to really, this is a two-folded conversation. This is for you and this is also for you, meaning that I want to make sure you receive this and also that you give this. But a lot of times what happens is we feel like we're only praised for our perfection, right? We're only celebrated for our perfection. We're only celebrated for our greatness. We're only celebrated for the good things that we do. And so we feel like we always have to be that person. You know how people tell me all the time, Trent, you're inspiring. Trent, I'm proud of you. Trent, you're full of greatness. Trent, man, you're so incredible. And I appreciate those things. But those are people that only see me, right, in my greatness. And I always ask myself this question, like, man, if they really knew all of me, right? Not just when I'm great, not just when I'm serving, not just when I'm doing incredible things, not just when I make the dream happen, would they still feel the same way about me? And the truth is, for a lot of us, we have people in our life. We have people in our life that are only congratulating us, that are only saying, I'm proud of you when you make it happen. That's why I said yesterday, and I'll say it again, we got to stop showing people appreciation and love just when they reach the destination. But we got to tell people we're proud of them for taking a step. We got to tell people they're proud of them even when they make mistakes because they're trying. We got to tell people we're proud of them even in their hardest time, even in their struggles, because that's when people need it most. Because if we set a precedent that we're only celebrated when we're perfect, we're only celebrated when we're doing great things, we're only celebrated when everything is going right, then that's an expectation that none of us can live by. And so we feel like in our soul, if I'm not providing perfection, if I'm not providing goodness, if I'm not providing great things, then I'm not valued, then I'm not loved, then I mean nothing. And some of us, we get to that point in our life, we feel like, man, I cannot live up to that. And so what you do is you live in your depression. What you do, you quit on yourself, because a lot of us, what we do is we tie our worth. We tie our worth to all these external things. And I know you heard me preach about this so many times. Here's another one. We tie our worth to all these external things in our life. All these things in our life. We tie our worth to, perfect example. I was in the gym the other day, and this is an example of celebrating somebody for where they're at. Not just where they're going, not just where they're going to end up at. I was in the gym, and she might be on this live right now. I was in the gym, and this lady came up to me, and she said, Trent, man, you really helped my life. I just lost my husband. I want to say her grandfather. I just lost my husband, also 4 months ago, and she was in the gym. And she was, I wouldn't say overweight, but she was probably overweight for herself where she wants to be, right? I'm overweight for myself right now. She was in the gym now, and I said, well, why are you in here? She said, man, I'm just trying to get better. And I said, you know what? I'm super proud of you. And she looked at me, And she looked at me like, why are you saying you're proud of me when I'm not at where I want to be? I'm proud of you because you took initiative to get where you want to be. I'm not just going to tell you I'm proud of you when you actually reach the goal. I'm not just going to tell you I'm proud of you when you reach the mountaintop. I am damn proud of each and every one of you for taking the step. I am damn proud of you for each and every one of you for not giving up and getting up this morning. I am proud of you for finding a way through it. I'm proud of you for not giving up after your mistakes. And that's the war that we have to create, because if all we tell people, man, I'm proud of you when you do something for me, I'm proud of you because you make me, that's easy. And what we do is we create a culture of only perfection matters. And that's the culture that we're living inside of. We're living inside of a culture of the filter life. And behind these filters of perfection rests depression. Behind these filters of perfection rests a human being. And so we unhumanize, that's even the word, we unhumanize the journey of life. It is not human to expect the person to have it all together. And so many people feel like they're only worthy, they're only valued when the boss says, man, you know what, you did a great job today because you actually did something special. So that's the only time we feel worthy. Or somebody tells us, oh man, you actually made that dream come true, or you got that scholarship, or you got that job promotion, I'm proud of you. But we got to start telling people, man, I'm proud of you regardless. So what I want you to do, if you can do this for me, is I want you to find somebody in your life. Even with kids, parents, it's very important. I want you to find somebody in your life, and I want you to tell me you're proud of them. And I want you to mean it. And they might look at you like you're crazy. They might say, why are you proud of me? Like, ain't nothing to be proud of me for. Because that's the stigma that we put on people, that you have to be accomplishing something to be a person worth of value. And that's not the truth. This life is not about perfection. If this life was about perfection, why would we need God? This life is about progression. And I want you to understand this truth. The accomplishment is not the accomplishment. The accomplishment is in the attempt to achieve something better for your life, to continue to grow. I'm not just telling somebody I'm proud of you when you defeat cancer. I'm proud of you for fighting the cancer. I'm proud of you for not giving up or throwing in the towel. And it's okay to tell people you're proud of them when they succeed. But we got to start telling people we're proud of them for taking the journey, because I'm telling you, man, this might seem like left field to y'all, but I'm telling you, a lot of depression rests because so many people have these external expectations to be like, man, I'm only celebrated when I'm perfect. I'm only celebrated when I'm living in my greatness. I'm only celebrated when I'm providing goodness to the world. I'm only celebrated when I'm doing things for other people. That's the time I'm only celebrated. So if our life doesn't add up to status, if our life doesn't add up to a great title, if our life doesn't add up to money in our bank account, if our life doesn't add up to a lot of followers, we feel like, oh, I'm not special. There's nothing worthy in my life. There's nothing worthy in my life. So I want to just come on here in this live today. I know it might not be for everybody, but the reason why we got these silent battles is, for one, people don't feel like they can say a thing, so they keep their battles silent. But for two, people feel like it is just too impossible to live up to the expectations that this world puts on you. And I want you to think about that. Think about it. Am I lying? How many times have we told people, man, congratulations for taking the journey? Or do we just say congratulations when they actually reach the top, when everybody's cheering for them? It's easy, and I'll leave you with this. You know what? It's easy to cheer for somebody when they cross the finish line. But why don't you be that person when that person's running that marathon of life? You're that person at mile 4 or 3. You're the person at mile 5 that's cheering for them then. Not just when they reach the finish line, because honestly and truthfully, people don't really need it at that time, right? They've celebrated, they accomplished, they got confidence in their life. Everybody's telling them how great they are. People need it when they're struggling. People need it when it's hard. People need it when they're about this much away from giving up on their life and quitting. That's when people need celebration. That's when people need encouragement. That's when people need, it's a strong word, but that's when people need praise. You know, if you're going to gas somebody up at that point in their life. For me, I don't need celebration when I'm on a magazine cover, or when somebody, oh, Trent, I'm proud of you now because your podcast went #1 or your book sold this much. Nah, be proud of me when you see me fighting through a year like 2021. When you see me, you know, fighting my depression, when you see me breaking through things, and you see me, it might not be pretty to the world, but be proud of me even in my dark, ugly moments, because that's when I need the encouragement the most. So parents, to your kids, don't just celebrate your kids when they do something special. Celebrate them because they are special. Don't just celebrate people in your life when they do something special. Celebrate them because they are special. Celebrate them on the most normalest day, because you never know how much they need that encouragement, man. Because some people are this far away from committing suicide. Some people are this far away from giving up in their life. Some people are this far away for throwing in the towel. Like, perfection is a prison. It's a prison. And we live in a world where everybody's creating this prison of perfection. And we feel like we're only special when we're perfect. We're only special when we're in our most perfect moments. And that is far from the truth, man. That is far from the truth. And that's unhuman. Unhuman. Every single person that's live, you have an imperfect side, including me. Every single person that's live right now, every person you meet, every soul that you encounter, what makes us alike is none of us have it all figured out. Yeah, some of us might be celebrated more than others, right? Some of us, like myself, right? I give so much and you see this side and you see this perfection, right? Quote unquote, you see this part of me. But the question I often ask myself, and I wonder if you ask yourself this too, man, will they still love me if they knew all of me? Would you still love me if you knew that I had struggles? Would you still love me? Would you still be proud of me if you knew that every moment of my life wasn't great? That I have battles, that I have silent battles, that I question my worth a lot? Would you still love me and support me? Because it's easy to support somebody in their perfection, but can you support somebody in their imperfect moments? And I believe if we had a world like that, we would see less depression, because it wouldn't be so much external pressure put on your soul to be something that's impossible to be. To be something that's impossible to be. I know this message might not have been for everybody, but hopefully it's for somebody. It was on my heart, and hopefully it touched your heart. Share this if you want to. If you don't want to share it, that's fine too. But I really want you to think about that today. I really want you to spend time thinking about that and ask yourself, man, like, am I being controlled by perfection? Am I being controlled by external expectations? Do I only feel value when I'm living my best life? And if that's the case, man, you're going to live a life full of stress, anxiety, depression, because majority of life is not going to be at mountaintops, right? The majority of life is climbs. And if you can't find the beauty in the climb, even when you get to the mountaintop, you won't enjoy it. You won't enjoy it. Like I tell you guys at the end of every single video, it all starts with you. And just as a side note, like, I'm sitting in my car right now. This has been like my sanctuary of peace, just leaving the gym, about to go support a small business and eat. I'm sitting in my car and I'm like, man, yesterday it was like 70-something degrees in Texas. Today it's cold. We're going to have a winter storm. Hopefully it's not like last year. A winter storm where it's going to ice over. We're going to have snow here in Dallas-Fort Worth. And the season changed. Not the season, but the weather changed just like this within 24 hours. I was outside in shorts yesterday. Now I'm bundled up, got a coat in the back. And that just reminds me of life, man. Nothing stays the same. But if you can keep your mindset, if you can keep your peace, despite the external things that happen, despite the shifts in your life and the shifts in this world, just like today's shifts in this weather, you can find the beauty in life, man. Because one thing is for sure, is that things are going to change, seasons are going to change, times are going to change, but you can still keep that same peace despite the changes. And as I always tell you, man, inner peace, internal peace is the greatest success. If you have that, you have everything. If you don't have it, you don't have anything. And so really take time out your day to go to your sanctuaries of peace. And I know this might seem corny, but nature or in your car, and have conversations with yourself. Talk to yourself, because we often have internal dialogue in our brain, in our mind. And this is the greatest battlefield ever. It's the mind. And most of us, we're losing the battle here. And we lose the battle here reflects throughout our whole entire life. Domino effects. Your internal dialogue right? Your internal dialogue will persuade how you live your external life. Somebody can quote that. Your internal dialogue, the things that you tell yourself, right? The conversation that you have with yourself. You're not crazy for having conversations with yourself. We all do. Whether it's silent or audibly. Your internal dialogue will persuade your external life. So if you can win the battle here by detaching your worth from all these external things, and you guys, self-worth method, we're starting this soon. So I know a lot of you are part of it, but if you're a person that is struggling with worth, go to www.selfworthmethod.com or text me. Okay. I don't want to spend too much time on that, but I know a lot of you are wondering because I see some people asking. Self-worth is everything. And as long as you're tied to things that make you feel worthless, you will live like you're worthless. So that's why it's important to examine, evaluate your life and see what you're connected to. Because connection is power. And what you're connected to will power you. When you're connected to God, you're powered with faith. And you walk with faith. When you're connected to stress, you're powered with stress. And you live a stressful life. Your connections give you power. So if you're feeling powerless, it's because you're connected to something that isn't right for your life. You're connected to something that's not creating energy and peace in your soul. It's actually draining your life from it. That's why it's very important to understand what you're attaching your worth to. Are you attaching your worth to a job? So you live an up and down life, how that job goes, you're attaching your worth to a relationship. You're attaching your worth to followers online, how people feel about you. When you do that, you allow all these external things to control you. So you're at the mercy of that and them. That's why you have to get to a place of inner peace, man. When your inner peace increases, your life changes. But you got to get to a place. You got to get to a place of inner peace in your life. And how you get there, I can't talk about it now because I don't have enough time. But if you're part of my text community, we actually doing a Protect Your Peace challenge right now. And I'm teaching people a free challenge. But part of it is internal dialogue. Part of it is sitting with yourself and asking yourself certain questions. Part of it is disconnecting from the world for a bit so you can reconnect to your soul. And a big part of it is the meanings that you create and what you attach the definitions in your worth to. So if I attach my worth to something that's permanent, my creator, my source, then guess what? Doesn't matter what happens in my life. I know I'm a special, worthy person regardless. Doesn't matter how many people follow me, how many people dislike me, what mistakes I make. Yeah, I might go through my seasons of sadness, but I still know I have value. It doesn't matter how perfect I am, how imperfect I am. I know that I still have value and I'm worthy. It's because my worth is attached to something that's permanent. So I hope this touched your heart in some way. But if you can do anything for me today, find somebody in your life that is living the most normal, regular day and really mean it and tell them that you're just proud of them. Like, I see you. Most people feel depressed because they don't feel seen and they don't feel heard. So just by telling somebody, I see you, you can change their freaking life. We think life changes is these major things that happen, and sometimes it is. But life changes happen off of small things. Small things create major changes. So by just telling somebody you see them, I can't tell you how many times in my journey where I wanted to give up and nobody knew. But I run into somebody in the gym, I run into somebody randomly, somebody in my family texts me and just say, Trent, I see you, man. That small little sentence has kept me going multiple times over these 13 years in my journey. Not the magazine covers, not the interviews on TV, not the viral videos, not that. It's the Trent, I see you. And oftentimes it's from random strangers. So, like always, man, it all starts with you. It's rehab time. Let's get it. To those, I just saw a question. The course starts February 7th. So you won't have access until February 7th, which is Monday. So everybody, if you want to sign up, it's almost full, but you have until February 6th, last day to sign up for the self-worth method. And regardless, man, I just appreciate y'all for tuning into these lives. I appreciate y'all for supporting me throughout these years. I appreciate you guys that listen to my podcast. Today's podcast is called Depression is Real. It's actually the live that I did from the other day. So if you weren't on that live, or you say, hey, I want to share this, you can go to TrentShelton.com or anywhere you listen to podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, and listen to today's podcast, Depression is Real. It has some instrumental underneath, so it's a little bit more powerful, I feel like. But I'm in a place, man, of helping people, man, through this. And, you know, I do a lot of things, but rehab time started. And rehab is about helping people put strengths back into their weaknesses. And there is a mental health crisis. When I say that, like, it's always been like that. But if you look, they said over 2020, it's tripled since COVID. It's tripled. And I know because I feel it too. It's tripled. And I know because people in my industry that are public figures, they feel it too. Everybody's feeling it. You're not alone in this. But depression has tripled since 2020. And so if you don't have outlets, if you don't have sanctuaries for your peace, if you don't have a prescription for your peace, for your healing, depression is going to be something that is far too familiar to you. It's far too familiar. And I don't want you to live life like that, because you don't deserve to live life like that. You really don't. You really, really, really don't. So yeah, man. I really want to keep talking, but I don't want to waste the rest of y'all day. I know some of y'all at work. Some of y'all might be getting in trouble right now, trying to sneak and listen to this. But I just hope that y'all really grasped on to what I said today, like about perfection, because it's the truth. It's the truth. I've been guilty of it. And like, oh man, like I got to be perfect, because even if you're not, I mean, most people don't even understand this subconsciously. But if somebody only praises you, I use the word praise lightly, if somebody only praises you when you're doing something perfect, you think that, oh, this is what I have to do. It's like kids. Like a kid, if they only get clapped for when they're doing something good, then, you know, they feel like, oh, I always have to do like this to get my mom and dad's attention. I always have to do this to whatever. And they start to realize, like, I'm only loved. I think, man, I really think it's a seed planted at a young age. Like, it's not even just as we're older, but I think even at a young age, from a young age, it's a seed that's been planted to think that, oh, we're only loved and valued when we're living in our perfection, or we're doing something, quote unquote, on what the world deems as greatness. And it's kind of like Einstein said, right? If we judge a fish off its ability to climb a tree, right, we would think that fish was stupid. I'm paraphrasing that quote, by the way. We would think the fish is stupid. And out of that, quote unquote, it's like, you know, we don't really appreciate people unless they're living. We don't really cheer on people unless they're living by the American dream, or the status society has made up that says, oh, you're valuable if you have this, or you're worthy if you have this, or do this. Like, nah, man. Don't let these external things control your internal self. So thanks, Carrie. I appreciate it. The podcast is awesome. To the person that says, I want to die, all right, don't die. Don't take your life. Don't commit suicide. There's times in my life where I wanted to die. I'm going to be real with you. Times where I didn't care about living. I'm sure everybody on this episode, on this live right now, has felt like that at times. And I want to tell you, man, there's more to your life. There's more to your life. And if you're in that moment where you want to die, it's because you feel like there's nothing to live for. And oftentimes we feel like it's nothing to live for because we put a expectation on how life should be lived. We've been persuaded by that. So if I don't have this in my life, oh, I'm not happy. If I don't have this, then my life isn't good. And we start to live like that. When I lost football, I didn't care about living no more because I felt like, oh, if I don't have this, then I'm nobody, you know? And that's the biggest lie that we can tell ourselves, man. We tell ourselves these stories that aren't true. And so I want to tell you, to the person that said that, and anybody else that feels that on here, you are strong as hell, man. For you to feel like that and you still be here, you are strong as hell, and you are a very powerful person. When the things that are supposed to take you out, when the enemy comes and tries to destroy you, and you still aren't destroyed, even though you're having your moments where you're breaking down and even having moments where you're crying, but you're still here, you're still going, please understand and change your perspective. That is not a weakness. That is incredible strength. And you are strong, my friend. And you are a person that the enemy wants to take out, because you're a person that can affect and change lives because of your strength, because of your story, because of what you went through. Please don't ever think that your current situation is your final destination. Please don't ever think that your life is over. Please don't ever think that there's nothing more to your life. Please don't ever think like that, because that is the trick that this world wants to put on you to end you. And you might say, Trent, how do you know? Because I'm living it. And just imagine if I would have gave up when I wanted to give up. I wouldn't be on this live right now talking to you. I wouldn't be able to reach the people that I reach. But I understand this truth, man. When you have something special and a calling on your life, you have something special. You might not think, you might Trent, like nothing's ever been special in my life before. Like nothing, people have done this and that. And that's where you're thinking. You got to think at a higher level. Don't think based upon your circumstances. Don't think based upon your past. Don't think based upon your past experience. Think at a higher level in your life. Because if you have that many attacks on your soul, you must be special. The enemy ain't attacking people that ain't threats. The enemy ain't attacking people that ain't threats. So don't give up. Don't give up, because when you give up, and I'm not yelling at you, but I'm passionate about this, because suicide is the reason why I started Rehab Time. When you give up, understand that you are literally stopping the plans that God has for your life. And not just, and when I say for your life, not just what he has for your life, but how he wants to use your life. How he wants to use your life. Because of everything that you went through, it has qualified you to help other people, not off of education, but through your experience. And when you live an experience and you don't give up, you reach people with more power and connection, because you actually know it's real. And the reason I talk to you like this, because I'm not talking to you from a place of what I learned in a book or what I read in a book. I'm not talking to a place of what somebody told me. I'm talking to you from a place of experience in my life. And that's why it connects with your soul like that, because you can't fake connection. And so when you give up on your life, when you throw in a towel on your life, when you do that, there's people in your future on the path of your journey that you were supposed to run into, that your life was supposed to be used in the most powerful way to power their soul and to power their life. Don't give up, because I'm going to tell you, it's always bigger than you. It's always bigger than you. Please take your worth out of society's standards, right? Stop thinking that you're not worthy because you don't have 6 figures or whatever, all this stuff. Because I'm telling you right now, from a person that has the American dream, it is not enough, y'all. It's not enough, because once you get all those things, you realize, like, damn, I'm still depressed. Damn, I'm still having problems. Yeah, this will make a little bit things easier here and there. Yeah, I'm not undermining that, but it's not enough. This life is an internal war, an internal battle. And if you win here, then life becomes a lot more peaceful. Because I'm going to tell you, the things that you think you need in your life, you add to your life, and usually it makes it more stressful, because it's more expectations put on your life, more weight put on your life. When you have more weight and you haven't developed the strength to be able to be strong in your faith, and you have more weight put on your life, it just makes you weaker. See, some of us think we need more, but you haven't developed the strength to be able to carry that weight. It's like when you lift weights. Some of us want to lift weights heavy, but you haven't developed the strength to even lift the weight that you have, right? So develop the strength to lift the current weight. And then when more weight's put on your life, you're able to handle it. You're able to handle it. I love you. I appreciate you. It's Rehab Time. Let's get it. God is good, man. Hey, what's up, Rehabs across the world? Trent here. Thanks for watching our new video. I hope it impacted your life. Listen, we're impacting lives all across the world. I want you to know this. It's because of you. It's because of you supporting the messages and sharing the messages. And speaking about sharing the messages, if this video touched your heart, if it's on your heart, please press share, because I promise you this, there's somebody in the world right now that needs to watch this video. And by you pressing share, you become a hero in their life. I get messages every single day say, Trent, I had no idea what Rehab Time was yesterday, but my friend shared the video, I saw it on the timeline, and man, did I need it. We're gonna continue to impact the world only with your help. We appreciate you. But like I say at the end of every single video, it all starts with you. It's Rehab Time. Let's get it.